Hey, this is Mark Nedjma from Newsweek.com, and I'm traveling. I'm here in Navan, Ireland. Is that the proper way to say it?
Yeah.
Navan, Ireland, and I came across probably the two most brilliant young men in Navan. Recent graduates from their public school system. One intends to be a major animator one day, and the other gentleman is going to be in business doing some interesting things. So I started talking to these young men, these men of Ireland, and I just wanted to kind of hear from them what they felt currently is the most important issue, not only in Ireland, but around the world. Can you, and by the way, this young man is the son of the editor of the Irish Independent.
Yeah.
Irish Independent. And you are the son of some hardworking people.
Yeah.
And you both have some great minds. Can you share with us, even if you're conversing between yourselves, what's on your mind these days?
Well, I suppose as of right now, there is a lot of nasty stuff going on around the world, but the way I see things is, if I can combat that little by little by just being friendly to everyone around me as much as I can.
Right.
And I guess as an extension of that, my goal to be a comic book artist / animator, takes that and puts it on the internet or TV to brighten up someone's day.
Right.
And if I can make friends doing that, and people who see that make friends with each other because of it, then I'm happy.
So basically, you're going to carry on in your mom's footsteps in bringing information, but maybe a little bit more persuasive, since you're going to kind of replicate humanity with your comics. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess. But if I was going to push a message in something that I drew or wrote, it would be one of perseverance and just trying to see the bright side as much as you can.
I see. So your name is Oshi.
Oshi.
Yeah. Okay. And you're going to be an animator. Now, your name is Mattis.
Yes, Mattis.
What are your thoughts compared to your friends?
I've also every so when I'm working, just spread positivity to be as positive as possible, and if that makes the person's day slightly better, so when they go home they're like, oh, my day was slightly better. That's a good thing.
Right.
And always talking, meeting new people along the way. I've traveled a good bit, so maybe I wish also every so often take pictures or photograph nice areas to show that there is nice places in the world that you can go to and see.
Right. Do either one of you have a YouTube channel?
Not as currently.
Do you have a TikTok account?
Oh, I have an Instagram.
An Instagram. What is your ID?
USH dot DANCINGOTAKU.
Okay, well, hopefully people will follow up on that. And how about yourself? Do you have a Instagram?
No, I don't. I don't post really much. I just usually keep the pictures, whatever I have, just to myself. But one day I do plan to taking nice quality pictures, but hopefully a good camera, and show the nice sides of different countries.
Well, I've made you both a job offer. I'd love to highlight your animation. I'd like to highlight your photography of your city and a little story behind it. Really, you're both very outstanding people. Now I'm going to have some hard questions for you.
Okay.
As the American stock market and the influence of America is affecting the potential financial status of the world, and the conflict between the UK and Ireland. Are your parents at home talking about this?
They do every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, it gets brought up every so often. It is noticeable also the price changes while as I work as a sales assistant. It's noticeable whenever I scan stuff and it shows up the subtotal, the prices do get higher.
Right.
It is a day-to-day notice.
So we're talking about inflation, basically.
Yeah, certainly a rising concern.
Right. So as you want to go to college, you said you don't want to be in tremendous debt, and you as well. You're working now before you go to college.
Yeah.
So inflation of universities. Let me ask you that. How fair do you think it is, the price increase in education, and the growth of the universities, spreading out across their communities? Do you think that's fair, or should they focus more on just the quality of the education?
I guess bottom line is you're there to soak up as much material as you can. So I'd like to say the quality of the education.
Okay. How about yourself, Manus?
Yeah, I'd say good, for a quality of education, because that's the thing that's going to set the students further in what they are trying to achieve.
How much debt are you willing to both go into for your education?
I have very little experience with managing debt, so I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how I'm going to handle that going forward.
Right. Do you think there's enough technology for yourself in photography and in animation that you can self-educate enough to make a presence in the world?
Oh, absolutely.
Through social media?
Absolutely.
There's lots of YouTubes and lots of websites that you can, for free or some even cheaper than going to a college, and get the same type of experience and be able to self-educate, or from another person be taught in the thing that you were trying to do.
Right. So today I was in your town and I read through the newspapers that are published here. I picked them up at the grocery store. Do you feel that your media is fair in reporting?
As in, like, non-biased?
Yeah, non-biased, yeah.
I do have a certain trust that, especially because my mother works in the industry, I have a certain level of trust that it is reliable in terms of bias.
Right.
I guess when it comes to stuff like the internet, you're fed the information that you seek out. You look something up, and a little while later, you get recommended all this other stuff related to that. So online, it can be very difficult to know what the whole story is. But I guess that's the beauty of journalism in general, is that there's so many people with so many different opinions, that how can you not want to listen to all of them and take it all in and draw your own conclusion?
Yeah, okay, good. How about you, Manus?
Yeah, I also believe that, especially here, it's very fair. It's very non-biased, and I believe personally, from what I've read through many papers that people buy every day, and yeah, I believe that you could read through all of them and draw your own conclusion to what it is that
Yeah, I read through the Irish Independent today, actually, and I was very impressed Typically, I go through 5 or 6 newspapers in New York, and I think the Irish Independent was so thorough in terms of the sincerity of what's going on here. So I was very impressed, and I believed every word I read, actually, as opposed to when I read the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. I have to kind of step back and try to evaluate what's truth and what's not truth.
Yeah.
There's so much political one side or the other, let's say between the New York Times or Wall Street Journal. So I was pretty impressed with that. Now, you guys are not far technically compared to Americans from Ukraine. We're in Europe.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of Putin and going beyond the border of Ukraine and Poland and into Europe?
I suppose most of the time I try not to think about it too hard, but it is very worrisome, and I certainly hope he doesn't. I certainly hope he doesn't do much more damage than he already has. But
you just don't want to think about it.
kinda.
Yeah. Mattis, how do you feel about Putin feeling as if he's an equal to Peter the Great, whereas he wants to conquer more and more? Have you heard that, number one?
Yeah, I have. Well, the thing is, I'm from Lithuania, so
Okay.
I've been here 18 years, so that I have an accent for when I speak both Lithuanian and English.
Okay.
So it's I try not to think about it as well as much as I can, and I hear news everywhere, from the newspaper, from just parents talking and so on.
Right.
Friends.
What's his solution? If you were political leaders, and Mattis, and you've got decisions to make today, how do you handle Putin?
That would be a good question. If I were to make a choice, I wouldn't. It would take a bit of time to come up with a solution on how to deal with it. So it would be the ending would be peaceful instead of causing even a bigger war.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta be careful. You don't want to piss the guy off.
I think the world feels that way.
Yeah.
But do you think, and you both have experience with bullies, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
bo- right.
Absolutely.
Which is part of life.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ireland's stance are in handling bullies, but in the U.S. we just kind of like try to manage them at a very young age. Now, in this particular case with Putin basically bullying Ukraine, how do you compare the handling of bullies in Ireland? What stops a bully in Ireland? Is it you knocking him on his pins, or is it just kind of like calling a teacher and saying, "Hey, he's bullying me"?
I can tell you this much: telling the teacher doesn't do a lot. I guess when you're in school, like, you tell your parents, and your parents calls the parent of the bully.
Right.
And after that, the problem kind of goes away. But otherwise, as an adult, if push came to shove, I'd say definitely stand up for yourself, of course.
Okay. So with your opinions, since push has come to shove in Ukraine, in Europe, on your land, basically, you are the European Union, part of it. Do you feel like push has come to shove yet?
Yeah, that you've made a very good analogy of compare. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Putin is bully on a very large scale, and to a very horrific degree. If I had the power to do so, I would just take Putin out of the position of power that he has.
Okay.
Because I can't conceive of any other way to put a stop to it than and then the whole world, other than the whole world coming together to stand up to the guy.
Right. That's a very educated approach. Mattis, my question to you is, does America look weak or strong right now?
I'd say it looks a bit in between.
Okay.
From what I've read on many of the newspapers as well. I do read on American news as well. That it's a bit of a mix at the moment.
Right. Do you trust that America, if something were to happen in Ireland, do you trust that America would be here to help protect Ireland?
Yeah,
or Lithuania?
Yeah, I would believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you trust in the faith? Do you trust in the strength of Americans' military?
It's certainly better than. It's certainly stronger than the Irish military.
Yeah.
So, in lieu of what we just discussed about Putin,
Yeah.
are you expecting more military action or hoping for more military action to knock the bully off his pins from America and the UK and the forces of EU combined? Would you like that to happen, or do you want them to sit back and hope the bully goes home?
Well, I don't think anybody can sit back anymore. It's like enough is enough, and I'd personally, I wouldn't advise a violent approach. Apart from, I'd love to give the guy a
Right.
punch in the face, but
should Americans? I'll move the question forward.
Yeah.
Mattis, should Americans be less focused on socialism or more focused on socialism, and how does that compare to what you expect of America?
Well, yeah, I'd say a bit, yeah, on the socialism part.
You like socialism?
Yeah, but I used to be a very shy person, so I started working now. I try to be as social as possible.
Right, but I mean socialism in terms of one step before communism, where the government is providing more and more and
Yeah.
more. You like that?
Yeah, where the government provides, for the people.
ideally, it's a balance between capitalism and communism. Like to try to have best of both worlds. No system is perfect, of course, but it's not. Socialism itself isn't. Like from any family member that I've met, socialism doesn't seem to be a huge issue.
Okay. All right, for both of you. You're the future. I mean, an old guy like me is not the future. You are. So you're going to kind of push things in the direction you want. Certainly the young people in America are more pro-socialism than my generation. My generation is, we talk about work, make money, make as much as you can, and move forward. Not so worried about too many people. So 2 last questions, I promise you.
Yeah.
One is, I understand there's a homeless issue in Ireland. Why do you think that's the case? And number 2 is, we talked about the petrol.
Yeah.
The prices are going up and the government is collecting more and more money. Should the government cut back on their taxes here? Or should they take some of that tax money and try to help the homeless? Or is there a solution for homeless? Why do you think there are homeless?
question.
I believe that, well, at the moment there's also housing crisis. That's also part of the reason of the increasing in homelessness. I believe that they should indeed, yes, take some of that tax money and try to help. As I've read a lot, they are trying to help by building more houses and more accessible areas for homeless people and stuff.
My question to you is, you're going to work hard and you're going to work hard. Should you pay for your housing and the homeless not pay for their housing? How do you feel about people not working and getting benefits?
Well, it depends. If they personally don't have the education or the ability to sustain a job, then it would make sense for them to be on that side of the government being supported with a benefit every week or every month. So I'm less concerned with are they tax-paying citizens, and more so concerned, are they okay? Are they
Right. Okay.
how are they doing?
You feel the same way, Mattis?
Yeah, I agree that if them not having to pay taxes and stuff will help them eventually be able to get a proper job and so on, to potentially get a job, then it is okay.
Right. Okay. I got it. So we're near the Hill of Tara, as I understand. Is that a religious?
Religious. I'm not sure. There's certainly a lot of stories around it, and history to back it up.
How does religion or your faith or non-faith affect your opinions? Do you have strong faith or not?
For me, it's I'm a bit very open-minded to religion in general.
Are you an atheist, or do you believe something?
Not really. I believe to whatever the person believes in is what's true to them, and if they truly believe in the religion that they believe in, that is what's
Right.
to go.
Are you a strong Catholic?
I have been raised as a Roman Catholic. Religiously, my attitude towards it being a belief system is, if this actually is the case, great. If it's not, that's fine too. But as well as that, I just see the stories I've been told as part of the Roman Catholic religion to be lessons on just how to live a nice, fulfilling moral life. Don't worry too much about is there God, is there not, is there God, is there not. Focus on how you can improve tomorrow.
Right. Well, I appreciate both of your time, and I think this is a lovely town. I'm lucky to be here tonight. I won't be here for too long, but it's really been an honor to meet both of you.
Thank you.
You know, you're at that age where you're just about to make a difference in the world, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.